What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with a Transformers KO review. And so the figure we're reviewing today is it's this. It's this. It's the AOYI Mech H6002-10A OP. God, why can't they give it a catchy name like all the other KO companies? Anyhow, so this is an oversized Transformers Siege Optimus Prime, and it's actually pretty cool. First and foremost, I mean, I have a very strong affinity with the Transformers Siege Optimus Prime. I think it's a fantastic figure, and this has made it bigger, which I'm kind of you know. But it's also made some improvements, which I think are actually pretty good. You can see some of the improvements by looking at it from the back and the side. It's, got less of the old kibble stuff here, and this folds up better, and some stuff. We'll get into it in a little bit better depth. But that, and because it's a bigger figure, it's got ratchets, that one and that one and that one and that one, and you get the idea. But yeah, let's get into this a little bit. I'm gonna aim up just a little bit. It's kind of a tall figure. So because this is an oversized figure, there's a size comparison right there with his regular Siege version guy. One of the big differences that you'll see is that he doesn't have the battle damage paint, and I'll be honest with you, I've actually kind of liked the battle damage paint. The wartime schmutz. Been through hell and back kind of look to it. I kind of like that, but I'm not offended that it's not on this figure or anything like that. He is I don't have my measuring tape on me. No worries. He's about as tall as an older leader class figure. So definitely much taller than a newer leader class figure. Maybe more like a masterpiece scale figure. It's about how tall he is. I don't know that he would necessarily fill in as a leader, as a masterpiece. I don't know that he would fill in for your masterpiece collection or whatnot. Buddy of mine that I'm borrowing this from is actually, if Hasbro were to produce that, they'd make it a Supreme or the Commander class. And I'm like, no, there's no way he's Commander class. Commander class is way bigger still. But there he is next to all those figures. So he is he's not super hefty or anything like that. If we throw the old trusty scale out, there it is at. Oh, I just changed it all. Beep 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 beep. Here's ounces. Weighs in at 13.5 ounces almost, whereas a modern leader class figure weighs in at about 12.5 ounces. The older guy. Now this guy, of course, has got more accessories than your typical. This guy comes in at almost 13 ounces. So I mean, not a whole lot heavier, but he does have some extra heft. Probably due to the fact that his tippy toes are die cast. That's just this area right here, just this part. So. And that is probably so that, either A, they can say, look, it's got die cast, or B, that they can, justify changing its center of gravity. When you have larger figures, you want to move the center of gravity down. It makes them stand better. So I don't know exactly which other. In terms of accessories, he comes with just the one. I'm actually really surprised that he doesn't come with a gun. And to be honest, a little bit disappointed. But this is functional exactly the same as the Siege one. It fits in his hand. He can swing it about. It is kind of a looser fit, surprisingly, even though the peg itself, this peg, pegs in really solidly to all of these assorted, you know, peg holes all over him. Fits. So, and that does fold up just exactly the same as the other one. And you can stick it wherever such things get stuck. In terms of accessory, his head has a ball joint, though it doesn't really ball joint much. It just goes up and down and rotates about just fine. He's got this ratchet joint in the shoulder here, so that goes around. Arm goes out. Bicep swivel. About 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, actually slightly more than 90 degrees. Also does have this transformation joint that kind of operates as a butterfly, but not really. Waist joint works just great. Actually, it goes all the way around, which is nice. Hips go out for basically a full Van Damme. Go forward that much, go backwards that much. Bend at the knee is really good. He does have a swivel, a little bit of a swivel here at the upper thigh, and a lot of a swivel down here at the knee. And then foot just tilts, no forward and back. Of course, he's got the transformation of his foot. So his articulation is basically, I forgot to mention wrist swivels. His articulation is basically identical to the Siege Voyager class figure. So, yeah, all in all, I mean, it looks good, of course, because the Siege Voyager looks good. It plays well. It just takes all the same concepts of that and blows it up a bit. I was never really bothered by the kibble that's on the arm of the Voyager class figure. It never really bugged me, but without it there, I actually like that. So it's the sort of thing that it didn't bother me that it was there, but I do like that it's not there. They don't really do anything to make this backpack go away, but they do have this little fold-in section here to compress that in, so you don't really see it as well from the front, you know. And I guess that's cool. So, one thing I will say is that apparently this only costs like $15. And that's cheaper than the Voyager class figure, and that's significantly cheaper than, you know, if you were to get a figure this size domestically. But anyhow, let's get him transformed up. I already got his accessory, his lone accessory removed. Let me get my tripod raised up just a bit. And we're going to start with his back. So we're going to take this thing and flip this around. By and large, the transformation of this backpack is the same, but there's a couple differences. You got to fold these things out here. When you fold this out, now this panel is attached to this little gun section here as well. And so part of that is that this doesn't... you could hyperextend this on the Voyager class figure, like so it goes way out. Makes it a little easier to maneuver things around, but in this one it only goes out to this point, so you got to kind of pull it out and then like push them back in a little bit and then put them back into position and form up this whole section here. Open up his chesticles. By the way, if you push these open too much, which is likely to happen, you will get a little bit of a stress mark right here. It was like that when I got this, by the way. So, but it's an innocent mistake, and I don't see that getting any worse over time. I don't foresee that getting any worse over time. Tuck his head in like so. Flip this around. You want to fold his arm in. Undo this waist section here to fold that back. That gives you the room to put the wheels all the way down, which gives you the room to put his arms in. So when you put his arms in, this changes a little bit too because of the stuff that they did to his kibble here on his arm, which is good stuff, by the way. Why am I having issues with this? Oh, it's because the camera's on. So you want to fold this panel up just like you did before, and now you've got this little secondary thing that folds around. So instead of just coming straight down and up like the other one does, this one actually has this little piece fold down and fold out of the way, which I think is actually kind of cool. It's small. It's a small change, but a good change. And just do the same with the other side. Bring that up, bring that around. Slot that all into place. Then you want to take this, make sure his windows are out of the way. Slide it past there. Slide that in till it tabs. Close up his windows. His windows are not going to want to see it fully until you really get this and like put that to bed. Leave his tires down for now. You'll still want those down in a moment here. Take his legs, flip them around. You'll notice that this is, by the way, exactly the same as the Voyager class figure. Pull this panel out, flip that panel around. I'm not going to plug that in fully yet. We're still messing around with this. Take this wheel section, flip that around, flip that around. Before we get too deep into this, I do want to untab this panel and this panel. This panel is always a little bit harder because it's not as big. Tab the legs together, tab the feet together, close the feet up. Make sure this is all aligned. Get this to go, that tab goes there. There was another tab in here. But that all just pigs in like so. Like so? Like so. Like so. Put the wheels into place. I do kind of wish that there's something that they could do about his dick plate. Either fold that up a little bit more. Take this sole accessory, plug it in right here. And there he is in his truck mode. And he looks like the Voyager class Optimus Prime in truck mode. Strangely enough. Rolls fairly well. Looks fairly good. Sits about a little bit bigger actually than a Masterpiece. The Masterpiece style figure. A little bit taller, a little bit longer. That's actually. Whoopsie. Sorry, I got caught on the cord. But yeah, so it is, like I mentioned in robot mode and vehicle mode, it's about the size of a Voyager class figure, or sorry, a Masterpiece style Optimus Prime. I don't, due to its aesthetics, I don't think it's going to really fill in the Masterpiece niche. But I mean, I don't know. You may really like this figure and may really want it to be on your shelf in that regard and or whatnot. That being said, even if not, I mean, it's still a decent buy. The price is right, and the size is nice and chunky. It gives it a bit more shelf presence. Nice transparent details here. I kind of wish they put some silver paint back behind here. Like, I know why they didn't, because open. Because this part here stays visible in robot mode, and the part in the middle doesn't. That's why they only painted the part in the middle on this figure, to kind of hide that all up. But I just kind of wish that, this matched that. Make that window pop a little bit more. Maybe put some silver paint behind the window, like paint up the other side of that. That would have worked. I don't know. Anyhow, but yeah, that's about all I really have to say about this figure. It's decent. Go ahead and look it up, and I think a few different of the where you normally get KOs. So AliExpress and probably Shozi store off the top of my head. Maybe Robot Kingdom. I don't know. Those are the ones that I would look up if I was looking specifically for bootlegs, knockoffs, and KOs. Not to say that those are disreputable sites in any way, shape, or form. I've purchased from all of them and they're decent. But that's where I would look for something like this. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya. Bye.